Have you ever felt like you were good enough to be someone's comfort, but not their choice? Like, you were their safe space, but never the person that they were willing to commit to. Because that's the topic that we're talking about. Honestly, situationships. Like, the question is, why does it hurt so much to be wanted but not chosen? Let that sink in for a minute. And how do we make sense of it? So let's get into it. Listen, I found myself in this situation many times. No, I'm joking, not many times. A few times too many. And it's a matter of the first time, I get it. I might have walked into it blindly and then realized, how did I end up here? And I feel as though that's a story for many of us, stepping into situationships or circumstances where you're like, wait a minute, we're in this kind of zone where we're kind of pretty much dating, but there's no label, but for some reason, we're not getting over that hump to make it official. So it's like, how come you can want me, but not choose me? How come you feel comfort from me, right? The sense of comfortability, but you're still not choosing me. And it's like, fool me once, shame on you, right? You brought me here, how did we end up here? Fool me twice, you gotta take accountability. You knew what it felt like to be there before, and for some reason, you're not walking into it blindly. You're walking into it hoping that the story's gonna end differently. But it still ends up the same way it did the first time. So now it's your fault, and there better not be a third time. That's all I gotta say. But the push and pull part with the mixed signals, where the person tells you, like, I'm not looking for anything serious, but then their actions say otherwise. That's the hard part, where it's like, all right, I hear you say one thing, but your actions are saying otherwise. They're contradicting with your words. And like we always say, actions speak louder than words. When you expect a person to prove themselves, they can talk it up, talk the talk. With guys, especially, if they're chasing after a chick and they're not really trying to invest in them, they'll sell them a dream and tell them other things they want to hear just because they want to clap. But a guy is really serious and committed and actually showing up to invest in a relationship, not only are his words gonna be there, but his actions are gonna be even louder. But that push and pull is so painful, because it's like you're close enough to feel the hope that something's gonna come of this, but you're also far enough to where you feel the pain and you're hurt. And it's so easy for those types of circumstances to make you question your self-worth. It's like, I'm good enough to be wanted, but I'm not good enough to be chosen. So it has you questioning your self-worth in terms of, what's wrong with me? How come I can't be the one that they pick? Why can't they commit to me? And even from a same perspective, but a little bit deeper, it's like, maybe if I hold on a little bit longer, I'll be good enough for them to actually commit. They say perfect person, wrong timing. I don't believe in that. Because if it's the perfect person, then time wouldn't matter. Ooh, let that sink in. Because if it's the perfect person, why would anything get in the way? Not even time itself. If it's God willing, the person that's meant for you, the rib, the Eve to your Adam, the Adam to your Eve, what's gonna stand in the way of that? That's just my take on it. But I don't know. It's like this weird spot where this person is comfortable enough to take what they need from you emotionally, but they don't have to invest in the commitment aspect of it. So let's say there's some type of conflict in terms of boundaries or expectations. That person has the safety net of saying, well, we aren't dating, so why are you freaking out? We aren't dating, so why are you expecting this of me? We aren't dating, so of course I didn't do this. So it's having that fallback where when you are committed, yeah, there are expectations, there are things required of you. And now there is this, I guess you could say, pressure to perform. But it shouldn't really be pressure if you really want to be in it. Now, the reason why people tend to hold on is because Oftentimes they think if I'm there for someone long enough, often enough, reliable enough, then eventually I'll earn their commitment. I'll earn the relationship. Or another reason why would be something like the comfort of the relationship, or the person as to what they're settling for and what they're getting out of that person, even though it's not what they quite want, but it's filling in the boxes of what they kind of need to a degree. People are willing to settle just to fill a void. So you're sacrificing what you really want just to fall back on things that you're getting out of it. Or let me say this a little bit better. You're sacrificing what you need and settling for what you can get and fill in the wants. People tend to settle for like situationships and things that kind of give them a little bit of what they really want, because it fills their desire of validation. Even though it may not be healthy, it's still filling something within themselves that they can already fill by themselves. So it's kind of like that sense of lack where you're grabbing on or accepting certain things. And where's your self-respect? Where is your self-respect? If you're settling for this, you're letting a certain level of disrespect or a certain level of access to you that they don't deserve. Think about that. Moving forward, you need to choose yourself. And the first step is recognizing the dynamic. Realize where you are. How'd you end up here? What did you let slide? You didn't just stumble into a situationship. Maybe the first time, I'll give it to you. Maybe the first time you might have just slipped and fell into a situationship. But let that be a lesson. What was the lesson that you learned from it? Because accepting the situationship, or this weird wanting area that you're in, but not being chosen area that you're in, realize that it diminishes your self-worth. You think you're worthy of that because you're allowing yourself to have that. What's your true value? And once you understand your worth, now it's time for you to start setting boundaries. Proper, healthy boundaries. If you're working towards something that's for a committed relationship, a serious relationship, then you know what you need to do. But if it's something like, I'm not ready for a relationship and I don't know if I ever will be ready for a relationship, there's no time frame, timestamp, or anything, it's just this gray area, you know what you need to do. You gotta set up very strict boundaries to protect your peace and preserve your worth. And shift the focus on you. Choose yourself. It seems as though you were abandoning yourself and choosing that person when they were never choosing you to begin with. They were tolerating you. Yeah. And it goes back to this quote where it says, you need to go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. And if this person just tolerating, as well as you're tolerating whatever treatment they're willing to give you, because you're taking what you can get, not what you deserve. Focus on your self-worth. You need to start focusing on you, and eventually the focus will be on you. You deserve more than just someone's comfort. You deserve to be their choice. It's hard to let go, but sometimes the pain of holding on is greater than the pain of letting go and walking away. So ask yourself, are you going to wait for someone to choose you, or are you going to choose yourself? Ooh, men, I'm speaking to you. I've been through heartbreak. I've been through this exact situation that we just talked about. If you're looking for guidance, structure, a program, a like-minded community of men seeking positive change and healing, then I'm your guy. Allow me to help you get back to you. Click on the link in the description and join our school community. The moment you start to choose yourself is the moment you create the space for someone to come along and see your worth and choose you without hesitation. Thank you so much for being here, for watching this, for listening to this. Share in the comment section your story, what you're going through. Maybe you're asking for advice, or maybe helping someone else already in the comment section that has advice and you might be carrying the answer. Subscribe, like the video. I appreciate your support. Peace from Dees.